Gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ, according to Matthew chapter 19, beginning at the 3rd verse. Some Pharisees approached Jesus and tested him, saying, "Is it lawful for a man to divorce his wife for any cause whatsoever?" He said in reply, "Have you not read that from the beginning the Creator made them male and female and said, 'For this reason a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh'? So they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore what God has joined together, man must not separate." They said to him, "Then why did Moses command that the man should give the woman a bill of divorce and dismiss her?" He said to them, "Because of the hardness of your hearts, Moses allowed you to divorce your wives. But from the beginning it was not so. I say to you, whoever divorces his wife, unless the marriage is unlawful, and marries another, commits adultery." His disciples said to him, "If that is the case of a man with his wife, it is better not to marry." He answered, "Not all can accept this word, but only those to whom that is granted. Some are incapable of marriage because they were born so, some because they were made so by others, some because they have renounced marriage for the sake of the kingdom of heaven. Whoever can accept this ought to accept it." In the Gospel reading, Jesus upholds both the value of lifelong fidelity in marriage and the value of celibacy for the sake of the kingdom of heaven. The Jewish tradition did not place great value on celibacy, and divorce was quite common and acceptable. The Pharisees quote from the book of Deuteronomy, which was the basis of the Jewish divorce law. That law in the time of Jesus was very much weighed in favor of the male. Men could divorce their wives, but wives could not divorce their husbands. One school of thought within the Jewish tradition held that husbands could divorce their wives on any pretext whatever. A second school held that husbands could divorce their wives only on certain pretexts. That is why the Pharisees asked Jesus the question, "Is it against the law for a husband to divorce his wife on any pretext whatsoever?" Their question took divorce for granted. They simply wanted to know which of the two schools of thought Jesus favored. In his answer, Jesus went back beyond the book of Deuteronomy to the book of Genesis, to what Jesus considered God's original intention. A man must leave his father and mother and cling to his wife, and the two become one body. In highlighting the value of lifelong fidelity in marriage, Jesus could be understood as protecting the women in marriage from being cast aside in the whim of their husbands. Jesus proclaims the value of a love between a man and a woman that is constant and faithful unto death. We are all aware that marriages break down. Most families in this church, including probably my own, are aware of this reality from personal experience. There will always be a tension between the ideal and the real, between the goal and what is reached. Jesus wants us to live with that tension and not collapse it. He keeps holding before us the value of a human love that is a reflection of God's faithful love, whether such love finds expression within marriage or in the single life.